He was such a special dad. How could he be gone? He'd taken his own life. When Savannah's mom told her, she tried to say brave things, but felt broken inside.
It was like all of this emotion, I just took it in and didn't let it go for a really long time. And I kept telling her that it was where he was supposed to be, and he was happier wherever he went, and that he just didn't want to be here. But that wasn't how I felt. I was really angry.
At a time when it felt like there was nowhere to go, there was Judi's house, the exact place Savannah needed.
And if I hadn't found Judi's house, if I hadn't opened up, this overwhelming wealth of compassion that I feel like would be caved in by regret, anger. I remember one of the first activities that we ever did at Judi's house. You got a little figure, just a simple figure, and you were supposed to color it in to show what your grief looked like inside of you. And all around the edges, I drew a rainbow. Because I laugh, and I love to laugh. But I left the inside empty. And I couldn't have gone places that I've gone if I still had that emptiness inside of me.
The support at Judi's house gave Savannah strength and a vision for her future.
I will not let my circumstances define who I am. Instead, I will grow.
Brian Greasy started Judi's house in 2002 for kids just like Savannah. He understands. He was 12 when his mom died.
I struggled through the time when my mother passed, and I think it had a lot to do with who my mother was, the fact that she was always giving back to people and she was always thinking about others before herself. And I knew that the best way to honor my mom was to try to emulate the way that she lived her life and giving back.
He told me that he wanted to do something for grieving children. He said that his mom's death had such a huge impact on him that he wanted to do something for grieving children and wondered what was out there for children who had lost a loved one. And really that was the beginning. We started looking to see what was out there and found that there were no freestanding programs here that were devoted to grieving children and families.
The most powerful thing in the world that we see, and why I jump out of bed every single morning, is you take a potentially devastating, tragic episode in a child's life and you create something positive out of that. You give them the space to heal and then to memorialize the person who died by giving back.
The need is dramatic. Consider that in the Denver metro area alone, there are 100,000 children who have lost a parent or a sibling. Each needs the counseling, understanding, and healing Judi's house provides.
It's a very transformative experience for them. We continue to try to meet the need by creating more services and expanding our services. And we want every single child and every single family that needs our services in the state of Colorado, we want them to be able to access those services. And so that's our goal. Children should not be alone in grief. Bottom line, they should not feel like they're the only ones. And at the essence of what we do, we try to prevent that.
They are learning so much groundbreaking research about the most effective ways to help kids through grief. It is information and experience that will change the lives of generations to come.
We heard a little knock on the door and one of the boys had come back. And he'd had his mom come back because he wanted to give something to Brian. And he asked for Mr. Greasy and he said, with his little fists out, he opened his fist and there was a crumpled dollar bill in his hand. And he said, "This is for cancer research because I know your mom died of cancer. And he opened his other little fist, and there was another crumpled dollar bill, and he said, "And this is for Judi's house. Thank you for giving us Judi's house."
Without Judi's house, these kids who have felt fear, who have felt lost and alone, would have no place to go, no way to deal with their grief. Judi's house gives them an opportunity they so desperately need to heal and move forward, living their lives.
I will give light to the world from all of my darkness. A light my mother gave to me with every hug, and a light Judi's house provided to me. A light of endless optimism. And so I would like to thank you. Thank you for the light. May I guide those who are trapped in a world to a life where they can live to love and love to live.